The human brain is the most powerful mechanism we know in the universe. But could we ever match the computing power of our brain electronically? Scientists have long aspired to build machines with true artificial intelligence.
The mind is a symbolic processing entity. The brain is, so to speak, the hardware on which the mind runs. Mind is analogized to software. Brain is analogized to hardware.
English mathematician Alan Turing first suggested artificially intelligent computers in 1947. His work had helped to crack coded signals sent using the German Enigma encrypting machine during the Second World War. Americans J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly continued research into building the first truly programmable computer. They called it the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, or ENIAC. The ENIAC filled an entire room, weighed 30 tons, and consumed 200 kilowatts of power. Over 19,000 vacuum tubes or valves were the principal elements in the computer's circuitry.
We went to great efforts to design the circuits with a set of mathematical rules which ensured that all the parts could be out of tolerance by the maximum expected amounts and still work. We called this worst design, meaning if everything was in the worst way, it would still work.
But its sheer size and cost meant that at the time its potential customers were thought to be only governments and the military. Unimaginable advances in electronics allowed computers to become smaller and cheaper. Valves gave way to transistors. Then the silicon chip allowed computers to become truly universal.
By making things smaller, everything gets better simultaneously. The electronics become higher performance, they dissipate less power, they become a lot more reliable, particularly in complex systems. But most importantly, they become cheaper. If the auto industry had moved at the same speed as our industry, your car today would cruise comfortably at 1 million miles an hour, probably get 500,000 miles per gallon of gasoline. But it would be cheaper to throw away your Rolls Royce and buy a new one than to park it downtown for the evening.
The true test of a computer's ability will be when it's indistinguishable from a human. As early as 1950, Alan Turing discussed the conditions for considering a machine to be intelligent. The modern Turing test requires an observer to have a typed conversation with another human and a computer.
Turing's argument is that if the judge cannot tell which is which, then we should credit the machine with the same kind of intelligence as is being credited to the unseen human being.
As yet, no computer or program has been able to match the intricacy of human conversation.
The story of computers is often told as a story of objects built by engineers on which other people then ran programs, and then other people came along and said, oh, let's see if we can make the programs into something like intelligence.
But in one arena, it seems man has finally met his match. In 1997, after years of failure, IBM's Deep Blue supercomputer was able to beat world champion Garry Kasparov in a chess tournament. Without the emotional pressure felt by a human player, Deep Blue was able to run through millions of move variations quickly and calmly. It forced Kasparov to resign in the final game.
There was one zeal to beat Garry Kasparov. And when a big corporation with unlimited resources would like to do so, there are many ways to achieve the result.
When big corporations focus their efforts, the possibilities for artificial intelligence are boundless. IBM is building ever more powerful computers. The ASCII Purple has 400,000 times more memory than a standard desktop computer. It is the first computer capable of processing 100 teraflops, or 100 trillion operations a second. This is close to the power of the human brain.
A lot of people call these machines giant brains, and whenever I hear the term, it makes me shudder. Because they are giant tools, they're certainly not giant brains. And if you have good tools, you're upgrading man, not downgrading him.